Hey, good morning, good day, fellow babies. Welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are hopeful that you are watching as a Patreon patron. If you are, thank you so much. You're getting it real time. We also are hopeful that you have figured out how to link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon account. If you can do that, we're getting paid there as well. So you're getting it real time. And if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, that'll work for us as well. If you can't do any of those things, if you don't have the money, I totally get it. Then you're watching a week late. But again, we appreciate your patronage. At a minimum, please follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Today's question from YouTube from EG. It's a great name, EG. Hi, Pachter. Hi, EG. Extra good. That's gonna be what your name stands for. As game publishers and studios continue to develop player bases and increase levels of engagement, do you believe financial markets will begin to value gaming companies at multiple similar social media and tech companies? Do you think the market is looking for the likes of Sony, Microsoft, or even Take-Two and Activision to unlock new avenues for value creation? It's actually not as simple as your question makes it sound. All companies are valued based upon the consumer perception of the present value of their future ability to generate cash. So if I said to you that once your investment, the company you invest in, is mature, you should expect to make 5% a year. And you said, that's fine, I'm happy with a 5% return. And I said, okay. And that 5% is going to be $5 25 years from now. Right now it's zero. What are you willing to pay for a company that generates zero? Well, the answer is, if you really believe they're going to make $5 25 years from now, you might pay $100 for it in 25 years. Discount that back, you might pay $20 or $30 or $40 now. And so that $20 that you're paying for the stock that generates zero profit is an infinite multiple, right? And if they make 50 cents, you're paying a 40 multiple. So you're going to pay a lot for it. That's Tesla, okay? People look at Tesla and their 500,000 cars, and they say they're going to be much bigger than Toyota and its 11 million cars because they're so good. And therefore, we're going to pay a value for Tesla that's twice as much as we're willing to pay for Toyota. That's really where Tesla trades. We're going to pay twice as much as Toyota because we think they're going to sell twice as many cars someday. And if you accept that Toyota is well understood, whatever it trades at, Toyota is well understood and sells 11 million cars a day. If we think Tesla's going to sell twice as many cars, not a day, a year, 22 million cars, then we'll pay twice as much for Tesla because it's just not understood yet. That's why it trades at that, even though that is hundreds of times their earnings. Well, the answer to your question is no. I don't think Sony or Microsoft or Take-Two or Activision has that kind of growth potential. I don't think that we look at them, and that's just simple math. If Tesla sells 500,000 cars and they're going to sell 22 million, that's a 4,400% increase in sales. I don't think we expect Take-Two, Activision, Sony, or Microsoft to grow by 4,400%. So no, they're not going to get that kind of multiple. Social media, different. They all trade at different kinds of values. Facebook trades at only about a 25 times earnings multiple. So not crazy. Activision trades at 20 times. Is Facebook worth more than Activision? Okay, I think it's fair. Activision should trade at 25 times. I get that. But that's not a huge difference. It's a 20% difference. Who cares? Microsoft, different, because people are thinking about the cloud and what's the cloud going to do and what's the subscription business going to do. And I don't cover them. I'm not sure what the multiple is that they trade at. But, tech companies like Snapchat, who doesn't make much profit, people think that if Facebook has 2 billion users, Snapchat can get to 2 billion users and they're only at 200 million. So, they're going to go 10x. Sure, maybe they will. So that's why it trades at such a high multiple. People have faith in growth. And so the companies you mentioned, Sony, Microsoft, Take-Two, Activision, probably aren't going to grow at the same rate as the companies that you're suggesting we compare them to. Fortunately, I cover all those different things. So I actually know why I have values that I have. And the reason I have a sell on Netflix, for example, is in order for Netflix to get to justify the value it's trading at now, they would literally have to double their users and double their price. And while I think each of those is possible, I think that they are each improbable. And the reason I think they're improbable is that Netflix can't grow at that rate without continuing to attract content. And since Netflix launched, we've had Hulu and Peacock and HBO Max and CBS All Access and Prime Video, and I know I'm missing somebody else, but lots of different services creating their own content. And so Disney Plus, it's hard for Netflix to compete against Disney Plus for Disney content because Disney has the inside track. It's hard to compete against Peacock for NBC Universal content because NBC Universal owns Peacock. It's hard to compete with HBO Max for Warner Brothers content because they own Warner Brothers content. So, I look at this as Netflix is challenged to grow at that rate because they rely upon the guys who create content for all those other services to support them. And of course, the counter argument is, well, then Netflix will create its own. Yeah, not without the people who create the content for Warner Brothers and for Universal and for Disney. And they may attract them, but guess what happens if you bid against Warner Brothers and Disney, and Universal for movie creators? The price of the content goes up. You got to pay more. So if Netflix pays more, then they double their consumers and they double their price. Their costs go up too. So they aren't worth it. So it's a very delicate balance. I have been consistently and blatantly wrong about Netflix. I've had to sell on it for hundreds of dollars of share appreciation, but I think it's overvalued. So again, will Activision and Sony get valued the same way as Netflix? If people think they're taking over the world, yes, but I doubt that that's going to happen. The simple way to think about the opportunity, though, there is opportunity in free-to-play, and there is opportunity in a world without consoles. So, delivering games without a console, that's Microsoft Cloud, or delivering games with a cheap console, that's Amazon Echo, which I think is coming, is going to expand the market dramatically. And particularly if there are people who just have an internet connection and can buy a game. Let's just say you have the internet and you pay me $60, play Call of Duty on TV. That'll work. Oh my God, you'll double sales of Call of Duty. It just will happen. Without a console, there's plenty of people who would buy one game every 3 years. So you'll double sales of everything because that means the market for games goes up by 10x. You will sell a lot more. If you sell a really cheap console and don't call it a console, if you just have, let's pretend that you find a technology, and this exists, by the way, to connect every PC to every TV. Let's just call it AirPlay. There's just a way for your Fire TV stick or your Roku box to read the game off of your PC, and you don't even need to do anything. You just say, hey, Alexa, order me Call of Duty, and without you even knowing it, it downloads to your PC. This is going to happen. Give it time, it'll happen. And, will PCs ship with 5 terabyte solid state drives? Yes, they will. I mean, this is going to happen. So, give it time, but, I'm laughing. I think the most recent Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is 120 gigs or some crazy amount. So, games are getting so big, but solid state drives are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I cover Corsair. That's one of their big sellers is solid state drives for PCs. Anyway, I think this is going to happen, and I think that the answer is that we're gonna keep getting broader and broader markets. The question is, do you value these companies as if they're going to grow 10x? Probably not. Do you value them as if they're going to grow 2x? Yes. And that means 25 to 30 multiples, not 200 to 300 multiples. So I think that's what we're looking at. And so I happen to really like Activision and Take-Two. I cover those two of the ones you asked about. And I have buy ratings on both. So I think if you buy them, you will do okay. Thank you for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. And if you're a Patreon patron, we really appreciate it. Our Twitch Prime customers who have linked their Twitch Prime account to their Amazon Prime account, thank you, we're getting paid. Our YouTube subscribers, thank you, we're getting paid. Everybody else, thanks for indulging us.